Let's go, baby. Lady Vols roll tonight. 101-53. Kind of looking a little iffy on that last possession, whether they would get over the century mark or not. Z Spearman. I like Z Spearman. I like Z Spearman's game. What I saw out of her tonight. Z Spearman rebound, puts it back in, makes it 101-53. Lady Vols roll tonight. And I don't know how you would describe a lot of that. It was it's pretty fun to watch, man. It's I don't know if I'd call it controlled chaos, or sometimes it looked a little uncontrolled, but still, yeah, man, this team got out and went tonight. A lot of fun. These plus minus, any of you that have watched my men's basketball streams, when I look to analytics or look to cycle, I'm trying to fix this color here a little bit, make it a little more mild, but I like to look at the plus minus line, and I've looked at a little bit of that already. They posted on utsports.com. Some of these are insane that we'll see tonight. Moondrops Beauty, what's up? Good to have you in here tonight. Go Big Orange. I love this team. They're going to be a lot of fun to watch. I really think they are. Just looking at it tonight, lots of people played. Spearman, of course, I mentioned her. I thought she had an awesome game tonight in 19 minutes. I mean, this team, what they did, 101-53, it wasn't in doubt. I mean, they had their moments where it was a little sloppy, I think. But I think with this style of basketball, you got to think it's November. It's a lot of people playing together for the first time as well. But I think people have to be, based on what we've seen against Carson Newman last week, based on what we saw against Samford tonight, this is, I totally agree with this. For their second game in front of the bright lights, yep, me too. Great post. I totally agree with you. Second time in front of the lights, Kim Caldwell, I like her demeanor. She looks composed. She looks calm on the sidelines. She doesn't she doesn't seem to get too worked up on things. Now, we may see it later on in the year where she does, but, it just seems to me that, she'll clap. What I know about her demeanor, she would cheer them on. She laughed a little bit, but it seems to me like she's always thinking ahead. Always thinking ahead. They go to a timeout, she's thinking ahead, ready for the next day. I like that. I like what I'm saying. I'm not saying Kelly Harper hasn't done it. I'm not saying anybody else hasn't. But, just with Kim Caldwell coming in and that style, I think it's a lot of fun. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight here as well. We got about 24 people in here right now. I figure we'll test out the landscape. We're going to do this and hopefully build on. I know it's a big night for the country tonight. Elections going on and stuff. Hopefully you got out and voted today. So tune in with us. Election's not ending in the next 30 minutes to an hour. So come on and tune in. I'm planning on going 30 minutes tonight. I set my timer here. Now, if we reach a goal, I'm going to set some super chat goals on here. If we hit $25 in the next 30 minutes, I'll go longer than that tonight. That's basically how I'm going to start going, because we went 2 hours last night. It really probably should not have. We'll go 30 minutes. We'll see how it goes. We hit $25. That's the goal for this 30 minutes. We'll go longer tonight. Got a few of you here in the chat. Moondrops Beauty's already had a couple real good comments, because I wanted to hit this one again for the second game with, a team that's still gelling going on. I thought they did pretty good. What's up, Sanders? Good to see you in here again tonight. We look good. Still got stuff to work on, but once we get that together, we're going to be hard to beat. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. And, I'll come back to some of these here in a minute. The schedule, I think, looks pretty good for the Lady Vols in terms of, to me, based on what I'm seeing, really their first test. Middle Tennessee was in the preseason poll. Middle Tennessee was pretty close in terms of votes to Tennessee, so that could be a little bit of a test. That will be at Thompson Bowling Arena. But other than that, I see Florida State on December 4th. That's in Knoxville, SEC, ACC Women's Basketball Challenge. And then they've got Iowa, December 7th. Of course, you don't have to deal with Caitlin Clark, but Iowa still, I know Iowa did get some really good transfers as well. And speaking of transfers, man, I think you got to like what we saw some of Tennessee's transfers tonight. I mentioned Z Spearman. Of course, we got to remember Talasia Cooper came from South Carolina. I thought she looked good. Samara Spencer, I thought looked good. And I'll get to Bender of Strings here in a minute and ask how Spencer is and hope it's not serious. That was kind of weird. It was kind of a weird injury. So I'm really curious to hear what they say on that one. I hope it's not serious either, because it didn't look like much, but then the way she kind of hobbled off and stuff, I'm hoping it was a little tweak or something. But, on those, it makes you wonder sometimes, where it doesn't look like much, but it could be something, bigger than what it looked there as well. Ronnie Freeman, what's up, Ronnie? Good seeing a great showing for the first time playing a meaningful game. Yeah, I thought so as well. I mean, my gosh, last week that Carson Newman game, the the stats were ridiculous. They were absolutely ridiculous last week. I think I agree with this. I think these ladies feel they have something to prove, and they do, but they have a chip on their shoulder, and that's a good thing. With where this program's been, I think you got to think the returners have a chip on their shoulder, because they heard. I don't know what they've heard. Maybe it's not the standard or what have you, but you've got the returning ladies coming back. You've got these transfers who have come in. They've been sold on this Lady Vols brand. They know the Lady Vols brand. They want to help return it back to what it was before. I think there's a chip on the shoulder, and I like their demeanor though. They just seem to play. They seem to do their thing. Just calm, cool, collect. It really seemed like Spencer, perfect for the system. Yes, I agree. Perfect for what Kim Caldwell did. And Kim Caldwell's talked about it in terms of her recruiting. She said, we may take someone lower ranked than a higher if they fit the system. Not just because they're a top 10 player doesn't mean they fit what we're going to do. Based on the player, based on what we saw tonight, these ladies that she's went out and brought in, they fit the system. Ruby Whitehorn looked good. Samara Spencer looked good. Ruby Whitehorn, I'd say she's got to finish around the rim, but we saw it last week. She can score. Z Spearman looked awesome tonight. You've got the others. Here's Alyssa Latham. Alyssa Latham didn't play as much, and she was really one I had kind of penciled in as a big part of this when they got her, and I still think she'll be a big factor. And the lady from Pitt, Iadale. That's it. I was about to say, call it something that Iadale, but so I want to share this. I love the plus minus, and these are crazy, these plus minus stats here tonight. Let me share the screen here just a minute. And, again, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, you subscribe. If you've not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. Trying to get up to, I'd really love to get to 3,000 by the end of the year. So, if you've tuned in often, if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Love to have you as part of the channel as this thing continues to build. It's built up strongly and quickly so far. But let's look at plus minus here. These are cool stats, man. I love these. Me being a numbers guy anyway, a math teacher, a numbers guy. So here you go. So Jewel Spear on tonight. 18 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 blocks, 4 steals in 25 minutes. Plus minus. This stat right over here. Plus minus 35 while she was on the court. Sarah Puckett, 2 points, 0 of 8, 2 for 2 the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 4 steals. In her 21 minutes on the floor, Tennessee, the Lady Vols were plus 32. All right, Ruby Whitehorn, 10 points tonight. I think if you ask Ruby Whitehorn, she would tell you she probably could have had close to 20 tonight. She missed some easy shots, but Ruby Whitehorn is going to score some points down there. 6 rebounds. Did have the 4 turnovers, 3 steals though. Tonight, that break Tennessee with 27 steals. That is crazy. That is freaking crazy. 27 steals. The other night they had over 40. 40 bench points tonight, 54 points in the paint, 50 points off of turnovers, 37 turnovers. Good Lord. This is a breakneck pace. This is what Kim Caldwell said when she come in. They're going to play fast. They're going to be exciting. They're going to shoot. They're going to play that pressure defense. and they did it tonight. They absolutely did it. Those defensive stats, so through the first two games, those just blow my mind. They literally blow my mind as to what they're doing. And if you're a high school recruit, and they're in on some big time high school recruits, if you're one of those high school recruits, you have got to like that style of play. I know the Paldo twins, they've got to be happy with their decision, knowing what they're going to come in and play. And of course, there's a lot of opportunity as they're going to lose, quite a few players to graduation after this season. Plenty of opportunity in Knoxville. And I think you're, somebody that, again, they've had your Grace Knox, your Dania Prawl, your Jada Civil, some of these who have been in town already. That style, man, that style is awesome. It's going to be fun. Are there times where we're going to be like, man, they need to calm it down a little bit? Yeah, I think so, but still yet, got to like what they're doing here. Get a little bit more into this. Samara Spencer, we talked about her a little bit. Her run to point, I love it. I think she had 5 assists tonight, 2 turnovers. She had a block of steal, plus 28. Again, hopefully she's okay. Hopefully that injury where she hobbled off was not much. We'll find out it's quick turnarounds. They play again Thursday night against UT Martin. Talasia Cooper, I thought looked really good. Very active. Look at her line here. She had 19 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. She did have the 6 turnovers, which was a negative. 2 blocks, 7 steals. Very active tonight as well. Kanaya Boyd, 2 points, still plus 11. Cooper, they were plus 32 while she was on the board. Kanaya Boyd had 2 points, 2 boards, 2 assists, 2 fouls, 4 steals, 19 minutes, no turnovers. I like that. That's pretty efficient ball. Destiny Wells was in. Z Spearman, 25 points, 10 out of 12, 1 out of 2 from 3-point, 4 out of 6 from free throws, 6 rebounds, 5 of them were offensive rebounds. Only 1 turnover, 2 steals, 19 minutes, and plus minus of 19. Very, very good night for her. And then, of course, Strickland, 0 points. Iredale, 1 point. Darby, 6 points. Alyssa Latham, 4. Jillian Hollingshed, 2 points tonight as she played 7 minutes. Latham, 8. Again, that would surprise me after they got it. I thought Latham would be a bigger part. Maybe she will later on. But, some of these numbers, though, I want to look at. So let's see what they allowed here with the visitor. Looking at Samford's stats. Samford did have 4 ladies in double digits, but these plus minus, all of them. Minus 47. Sadie Stetson was supposed to be one of the top returners on here. The fact that what they did here with her held her to 0 points. Kennedy Langham was she was a all Southern Conference preseason pick, held her to 12 points. Let's see, their percentage-wise, 3-point, they held them to 15% tonight. 37 turnovers, only 10 assists. Good Lord. That's efficient. That is some defensive efficiency for sure tonight. That is the pace that Kim Caldwell promised and said we were going to get. And, we saw it. We'll see where that goes as of course, like I said, UT Martin next. Middle Tennessee, their votes were fairly close, so that could be an interesting game next week. Could be kind of a little bit of a first test. Of course, that being an in-state game, probably have a little bit of extra spice to it. Liberty, 2 Saturdays from now and then, Western Carolina, Florida State, Iowa. And they conclude the non-conference slate. North Carolina Central, Memphis, Richmond, Tulsa, Winthrop before they get an SEC play. And then they do have UConn on February the 6th, which is a Thursday night. Once they get into that SEC schedule, get into like UConn, Florida State, it's still a pretty brutal schedule when you look to SEC. Especially with South Carolina, with LSU. I know I'm forgetting some of the Texas coming into the conference now, Oklahoma. Tennessee was picked preseason 7th in the conference. And I think the Lady Vols are going to surprise some people. I really do. But at the same time, it's a very good conference. And so, they cannot take a night off along the way. Good putt, Sam. Sorry, but Harper could not have done what they're doing in just the first game of the season. Love Kelly. She's a Lady Vol national champ, but not coach material. I have not seen if she's taken a job anywhere else or she's just maybe taking some time off from it right now. I mean, the way I understood that she did have the opportunity to come back, but she needed to make staff changes. One of those was her husband, and I can't imagine having to make that change. But I think at the same time, too, if you're going into this profession and you bring your spouse along with you, I think you got to realize that it's part of the territory as well in this profession. I mean, I'm not saying he was an incompetent assistant, but if that's one of them they wanted to let go with this profession, I mean, it is what it is. Of course, Samantha Williams was one that Kim Caldwell did not keep. People were a little bit up in arms over, but it is what it is, So Coop was awesome tonight. Coop can play. South Carolina transfer in 2022, top 20 overall player. What was it, 18th? I think I saw according to the outlet you look at. And I guess my only complaint with Cooper tonight's cut down on turnovers. And that's something Kelly or Kim Caldwell is going to emphasize, cutting down on those turnovers. So Lady Vols did tonight have, let's see here. I think I've already talked about this, but they did have 20 turnovers tonight. That's a bit much. So that they were basically on a 1-to-1 ratio. They had 20 assists and 20 turnovers. So got to cut down on that quite a bit. The rebounding battle tonight. See, Tennessee had 41. Samford, I felt like we're getting some second chance points. 41-38, so not a big discrepancy, but they did win that rebounding battle as well. The offensive rebounds, they gave up they didn't give up 17, did they? 17 offensive rebounds tonight. Yeah, they did. Okay. So that's something I think Kim's going to want to take care of. Coach Caldwell, the offensive rebounds. The Lady Vols tonight on offensive rebounds had 21. That's a pretty good night for them. Spearman had 5. Spear had 4. Puckett 3. Whitehorn had a couple. Latham had a couple as well. But that's I think that's one stat they're going to want to cut down on, that and the turnovers. That seems to me like really more the big ones that they want tonight. I think they'll get some too. I think the Lady Vols will get some upsets in there as well. Now, look at their schedule. Let's see. So they've got start SEC play. They've got Texas A&M at Texas A&M. I won't put up the poll as well. Let's see. And hopefully we'll get some word here soon with some of these recruits Lady Vols are in. I think it was Prawl. It was announced she's in they made her top 3. So that would be a big time pickup for them. All right, so Lady Vols play South Carolina, who's number 1. They play UConn, who's number 2. They play Texas, who are number 4. LSU, who's number 7. They play them in Knoxville on January the 9th. Oklahoma, who's 10th. So they play them January 5th, which is a Sunday in Knoxville. Let's see. No, they don't play Baylor. That's the men that potentially play Baylor. Florida State, who's 19th, they play them in Knoxville. Ole Miss is 20th. So they will play them. Let's see, there's South Carolina Monday, January 27th in Knoxville, 7 o'clock on that one. UConn, they get them in Knoxville Thursday, February 6th. They do have a return game at LSU, so it's home and home that they play with them. Ole Miss does come to Knoxville on February 16th, which is a Sunday. Let's see what else you got. Great. There's Kentucky. They play Kentucky Thursday, February 27th in Lexington. Let me see if there's a home and home on that. No home and home on that one unless I'm overlooking it. Alabama is 24th. They play Alabama in Knoxville, February 20th, and that's the only one unless they see them in the conference tournament. Others receiving votes, Iowa 26th on this, so Tennessee does play them in New York. Vanderbilt, there's Tennessee, there's Middle Tennessee. So, yeah, it's a tough schedule. But you know what? Iron sharpens iron. You're not going to get better if you play a schedule full of teams that you're just going to annihilate. You just don't. You want to have those games. I think that first game being like that is pretty good. But as far as, an entire schedule made up of it, non-conference, I like those games. Plus, your conference games are going to be tough. To me, I want to play the better competition. I think anybody who is a competitor wants to. Sure, it's great to have those games like tonight, 101-53. But, it could get monotonous as well along the way. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Coach Caldwell warned fans to expect turnovers until the players find their rhythm. She absolutely did. She said it's going to take a little bit on that. So, it's going to look sloppy at times. It's going to look a little chaotic at times. But, Rome was not built in a day. The end result is what matters. Where are they at come March? Right now, it's working out the kinks. It's working, ironing out things right now. It's getting used to this system. It's playing in the lights like Moondrop's Beauty mentioned earlier. Two games in front of the lights, pretty dang good performances so far. I think we'll take that, definitely a 48-point win in a game where you had 20 turnovers, 20 assists. They'll fix that. That will get better. The rebounds were good. Their turnovers and what they're doing, though, I still say just insanity. Total insanity to force 37 turnovers, to have 27 steals tonight. But, it's after what they did against Carson Newman. I don't think there was realistically anywhere to go but down in those categories because they were so crazy. But I love this team so much. I feel like we can be the team to beat in the next 1 or 2 years. The big thing, I think, with the Lady Vols, because they're going to lose so many players after this season, they're going to have to hit the portal, closing on some of these targets that they're in on. They've got the Paldo twins, which is a great start to it. Now, can you close with your Grace Knox, with your Prawls, with your Civils, some of these out here that they've had on campus. Now, obviously, they had Nyla Brooks in the fold at one point. She committed to North Carolina. I get the sense that maybe the Kim Caldwell staff didn't recruit her as much as people maybe thought they did. And Kim Caldwell said it, just because you're a highly ranked player does not mean we're going to recruit you and you'll fit our system. Somebody who's ranked 80th or so, I think so, 70th, 80th, I think she said, may fit our system better. I think that's true of any team. Sometimes it just is what it is. Just because you're a top 10 player does not mean you fit every single team. You got to think, a player, if they're truly that good, coaches are going to try to fit them in. But, maybe not. The initial returns on what we're seeing right now, though, is that these ladies that they brought in out of the portal, they fit pretty well. Spearman's active. Spearman is a taller lady. She's able to get up and down the court. She's able to run, shoot. She can shoot. She's stepped out, went 1 for 2 tonight. She, owned the offensive rebounds tonight. Great pickup. Ruby Whitehorn's very active. Ruby Whitehorn had 29 against Carson Newman. Samara Spencer looks tailor-made for this offense at the point. Again, hopefully her injury is not anything serious. And then Iadell and Latham, they were contributors on Power 5 teams last year. Latham at Syracuse, Iadell at Pitt. they're going to be contributors at some point. Their minutes may not have been as much tonight, but, as we continue to work forward on this, they're going to continue. It's not a set rotation right now, I don't think. I think they have an idea who they're going to play, how they're going to go with, but Kim Caldwell is rotating. That was something I liked tonight. It was like you had your rotations going on. Here, 5 would come on the court. 3 more may be ready to go here in just a few minutes. So that's something they're going to have as they're so deep in what they're playing. And it's not just that it's warm bodies out there. It's all quality players that's going in playing. And I think that's a big deal for them. I mean, like tonight you had, as far as minutes go, Spear played 25, Puckett 21, Whitehorn 21, Spencer 18, Cooper 26, Boyd 19, Spearman 19, Tess Darby 15, Iredale, Abby, and Avery Strickland played 10 each. And then Latham 8, Hollingshed 7. You're playing a lot of people on it tonight. You had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They played 12 people tonight, at least 7 minutes. And then Destiny Wells come in and got 1 minute tonight. So that is a very deep rotation. That's a very deep rotation. That's going to pay off in some games where you get maybe a team that's top heavy. They're not as deep as this team, and they can run in and out. Like I said, the thing that impresses me about it is it's quality depth. It's not just we have 5 or 6 top end players and then we're just rotating some in just to rotate. To me, I like all the portal pickups. I like what they had returning. I think this is a really good team. I think it's going to be an underrated team. We'll see how this team goes. I think when they get to, and like Ronnie said here, Caldwell warned fans to expect turnovers. It's going to be a little bit of a process. I think when you start getting towards that conference tournament in Greenville, it'll be fun. So hopefully we'll play. This is a long time off, I know. So I actually live outside of Greenville. So hopefully if any of you go down there, maybe we can have like a meetup party or something for it. You guys that watch the channel or keep up with it, as we're going to go Lady Vols. We'll go along the way and, hopefully we can have a meetup down there, some places pretty close by, and have a good time with that as well. Let's see. Matt SS, what's up, man? Good to see you in here. Lady Vols 101, Samford 53 tonight. Total domination. Forced a ton of turnovers, a ton of steals tonight. Their 3-point percentage. So Lady Vols went 10 out of 34, 29%. They are not afraid to shoot them, for sure. I mean, against Carson Newman, they threw up, 48? It was. So they're definitely throwing them up. So I'm down to about 5 minutes here. If I get $25 of super chats in the next 5 minutes, we'll keep on rolling. If not, we'll wrap it up tonight. We'll get back on it Thursday. Now, I definitely want to set some goals because, I appreciate all you guys' support. Make sure you check out the memberships. Make sure you check out the Patreons as well. The thing with the channel, and this is no shade against anybody or anything. It's just, I'm not really one to like go bumming, but it does go to help the channel. It does go to help provide coverages. There's so many sites out as far as what to cover, and any previews or anything, they are original content on mine. I don't look at other sites for their previews. I may look to see UT Sports to see if there's something good there, but as far as any baseball, any basketball or anything, they are all my own research, all my own previews that I do. Post-game stuff, it's all my own content. I really try not to just rehash what other people say. Sometimes recruiting, I don't have those inside sources where I can just get them. I've got a little bit of a source for baseball, but it's very specific what it is. It's not really a lot I can kind of go on, but that is kind of the first little bit. So, I have some good stuff for baseball this year. I've been messaging with people for a pretty good while in baseball. There's some pretty interesting stuff going on. It's going to be a good team this year again. But as we start wrapping up on here, appreciate you guys tuning in. Pretty good little crowd, been up about 50 to 60 tonight. We'll go live again Thursday night after the game, be about the same time. I plan to go 30 minutes. We hit our goal on super chats. We'll keep on going. So that's, appreciate your support. Appreciate you checking it out. Make sure, as always, you hit the like, you share, and if you have not, if you checked out the content, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. I was trying to get that up to 3,000. Also, it is election night. Get off here and watch some election coverage. Depending on who you voted for tonight, hopefully your candidate wins. That's probably about as far as I'll go with it tonight. Definitely a big night. What's up, Moonshine? How's it going, man? Good to see you in here. About ready to wrap this thing up. Lady Vols roll tonight. Got to like what you saw the first game of the Kim Caldwell era. Excitement is there. The excitement, I think, is for the Lady Vols basketball program is the highest that it's been. Now, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a Lady Vols connoisseur. I've always kind of kept up what they've done. But as far as really diving into it, this is my first time really diving deep into it, maybe since back in the days with Candace or Holtzclaw or something during the Pat Summit era. Definitely watched them a little more then. But here along the way, House of Orange is here to cover the Lady Vols. We're going to cover it pretty thoroughly. We'll try to do it as much justice as we can. But thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. I'll see you on Thursday night, same time, same channel. Last but most certainly not least, go Lady Vols.